Of money? For an answer to that question, I have with me entrepreneur, engineer, and author Kwabena Obing Daku. You're welcome to GTV Breakfast.
Thank you, sir.
What's it like being an entrepreneur, an engineer, and author? Which one do you like most?
I went to school to be an engineer.
Okay, what kind of engineering did you study?
Fabric engineering first degree.
Okay.
And process engineering second degree.
Okay.
Entrepreneur, I just wanted to be something. You know?
Okay.
So I started to build business.
Okay.
And maybe that is a profession, I don't know. But writing, the things that I have learned doing these things.
Is what you put in the book?
Yes.
Okay.
These are the things that I put in the book.
What kind of businesses have you built?
We have a retail, business fashion retail. So you go in the malls, you see us there.
Okay.
Look up products that we make.
Okay.
We are into property development as well. Some few other things.
How did you start into business? I mean, engineer, becoming a business person?
I think school is just school. What you really live is what you see yourself to be. The talent, the gifts that you are born with. I don't think that you just go to school for 4 years and you have to define yourself by that all your life. And so the engineering is just a footing for me. Whatever that I want to be, I should be able to create it myself. And that's why I decided to go into entrepreneurship.
Did you want to be an engineer?
Just education that I had to have. I was good with mathematics, and I did science at Opokwari School. So just that. I don't know what you mean by this. You want to be an engineer?
Yes. I mean, were you forced to do engineering?
I think
something you chose?
I was just good with science, and I chose that course.
Okay.
And I did mathematics, physics, chemistry.
Okay.
And many times those are the options that are available.
Makes you become an engineer in Ghana. Let's talk about money now. Why do you think people don't really understand money?
Because it's not something that is intentionally taught. So, for instance, going through school as an engineering student, not much was taught on money. Definitely. Not even how to spend it, how to arrange it, how to even build anything with it. You know, so you are taught, fluid mechanics, you are taught Fourier series, and you come out and you're trained technically to just go and somebody should give you a job. That's it. That's the essence largely of our education. Even those who go to study finance, it's the same. You go to study finance so that you can get somebody to employ you so that you manage the finances. No, you're not taught that this is something that is needed for life. And virtually it's just like blood, as we say it. Sikai moja. So if you're a human being and you don't understand blood, or the blood that goes through you, you have no idea. Let's face it, this is money. You're going to use it for medicine, for your children's school fees, for almost everything. And if somebody controls your money, they virtually control a large part of your life, And this is something that you're not taught. So it means that what you're not taught in is likely that you not have the
because
right
you will not know it.
You will not know it. So
what are some of the common myths and misconceptions about money?
Many of us believe that it's a chance thing. So if you're born to be rich, then by all means you'll be rich before you die.
Almost like your destiny, your fate.
Yes, and so we think that somebody with money means that he's doing something supernatural somewhere. That's why he had money. And I think that is not true. I think it's just a byproduct of right fundamentals in terms of financial education.
What are the right fundamentals?
You should understand that nobody is responsible for your finances. You are responsible. And the knowledge that you have is what is reflecting in how you understand or handle money. If you look at your financial status now, if you have to wait for salary before you pay the bills, your rent, the water, the children's school fees all the time, and if you have worked for, let's say, how many years, maybe 20 years, then that's a problem. If you think that your profession as a journalist is the one that will make you rich, then the understanding of money is impaired. So you separate the profession from your financial freedom or your financial independence. It's something that you have to learn. So people think that they can depend on one source of income. And if you look at our economy, let's say you go outside Ghana, many of the people who live in the so-called rich countries, they are supported to buy a house, they give you money, to buy a car, to even go to school. Here,
even unemployment, if you're unemployed, they give you money.
They give you. But here, who does that? If you want to build a house, not many people. maybe 80-90% of our people have to build their own house with their own money, have to buy their own cars with their own money, which means that if you live in such an environment, your understanding must be double or triple those areas that they are supported. So the structure of our economy will mean that you really have to do something beyond the so-called salary that they give us. Because as you grow, you will see that a time should come that you don't have to have salary to eat. And we all know that how many people can survive in a year, keep the same lifestyle without being paid salary. And it's something that all of us can work towards.
So you need to be thinking about creating a product or a service that can earn you money beyond what you get from your company.
If you really, because most people are on the line. For instance, if you owe and you can't pay and it's been persistent, it means that your understanding of money, it's trouble. If you have to cheat, lie to always have money, it means that you really don't understand money. If you're hoping and waiting for somebody to always give you money, it means that you don't have money. If you understand money, your understanding of money is not good. If you have to always be begging people for money, it means there's trouble.
Since they don't teach money anywhere, how can one learn about money?
So you have to decide. It's just like
you have to want it.
Yes, you have to decide that there's something that I need. Just like health. If your health reflects your knowledge on health, same with money. Your money health reflects the knowledge that you have on money. So if you look at your life and you see that you are always in trouble, unread, and you're always worried about money, and you look at your future and you see that maybe just the government will take care of you after you are out of job, then it means that this is something that you have to correct.
But when yeah, go ahead.
And so you have to know that there is information out there that I must educate myself with.
Okay. So you said you have to decide before you can get it.
Yeah.
That puts you at loggerheads with some people's beliefs who quote for you, but for the love of money is the root of all evil. How do you deal with people who talk like this?
That's something. That's how many people who think like this, like this way, are poor, because the rich don't think like that.
How do the rich think?
No, they think that this is something that is needed, is a tool for freedom. They think like that, and they say that I have to work to have it. And so when you give a rich man money, he's not the one going to buy a phone or telephone with it. He's not going to change his shoe with it. He's going to plant it so that he can give birth. They create machines that cut money for them if you want, and that's why they have money. I have a gentleman, an old man that I used to rent an office from. He died about 93 years. This man, when he was young, he was a pharmacist. He built a lot of shops and he was renting. I never saw that man worry about money. But I'm sure that his mates, some of them could drive nice cars when they were around 30s. But this man, his properties took care of him. Yesterday I had a seminar, business seminar at Accra Silverbird Cinema, and this young man is a doctor who came there. He said, I was just thinking of traveling outside Ghana. So he went to learn German language, and he's done everything. Then he came across one of our videos where we teach some of these things: entrepreneurship, financial independence, having belief in our country, and having confidence as an African. And so he said, okay, let me watch this. And then he started to watch, and his mind switched, because the key to change a man's life is a new knowledge.
What did you tell him in that video?
I don't even know the specific video that will.
What do you normally tell people in your videos?
I just say that you don't have to travel to be rich. Financial prosperity or independence is just you trying to have different sources of income and looking at our environment to see the opportunities that are available to us. So he's a doctor in one of the regions outside Accra. And so the money that he had, some of it, he started to rearrange them well, and he started to have excess. So he said that he bought some land. Somebody's cocoa farm, he bought it. And now, even 3 months after buying that, some people are coming to buy, and that thing has multiplied by 3.
Appreciated, yeah.
That's right. And so he's saying that once I started to hear this, then I recognized that as a medical officer, all my training, they didn't talk about these things.
Okay. Let's get practical. What would you advise any of these 3 cameramen to do to become independent in terms of money? But now they're cameramen. What can they do?
You're trained as a cameraman. You're a technical man. Fantastic. But your ability to, use the camera and everything, they will give you salary. Don't use all the salary. Start to look at the environment. If it's mobile money joint that you can create it. If it's cocoa that you can sell, if it's watch that you can sell. You should not say that my profession is so high that these things, anything that is legal and ethical in our economy, that you can do to have extra income, You just have to do it. You can't just say that, oh, I'm tired. No, freedom is not free. You must put the pressure on yourself now that you're strong to have different sources of income. Some of them can even say that, well, no, I don't like trading, but I can go into agriculture. For instance, if you go to your village, you have some friends there. If you have 1,000 or 2,000 and you go into cassava farming, maize farm, maybe the whole year you get maybe 10,000, 20,000.
From 1,000 can I say 2,000?
You can do something. And maybe it multiplies. Maybe I may even be outrageous. Maybe. But at least 2,000 can become 5,000. If you don't waste that money and you focus on what you're good at. A gentleman said that he went into okra farming. He invested some money.
Fetri, Nkrumah.
So these are the opportunities that are available to us. But you see, the training that we've been given is that we think that investment is about treasury bills and bonds and those things like that. But for me, investment is just putting your resources in something that will become beneficial to you.
If somebody came up to you and said, oh, I have 1,000 cedis saved, what would you advise me to do with it? I live in an urban area. Kaswa.
People always, when you go around or you get out of your house, there's provision shop. People are selling amane. People are selling water.
What is amani? Fish?
Amaniswa. Fish. Yes,
smoked fish.
The smoked one.
Very, very, very delicious.
That's right. So anything that people desire, people need, look at what you can sell to people.
So you need to be curious.
Yes, sir. And you need to look at the environment. Don't raise yourself so much above what, let's say, especially the people who went to school. They are the ones who...
Yeah, the problem people.
Yes, because they think that some things are beneath them.
What are some of the things that you have done that people would have thought was beneath you?
Hey, when we started to build business, I was going to Makola to buy Roniwell. I had masters, didn't have anything. So the only option that I had was just to fight. And I was not meant to look for a job. And what was it in the first place? So you just have to do something.
Is it a good business, forced business?
Now just go in, pick them,
was it good?
Them.
Was it good business?
Well, so long as I could get profit out of it, yes, it was. And not that one. We have done so many petty things that we did not let the certificate choke our head. If you come from a background that you don't need any help, you don't have any help, no father, no mother, nobody to connect you with anything, then go to the ground and do something for yourself.
What are the basic principles of money that people must remember? If they forget everything in this conversation, what should they remember?
Track the money. Track money that comes to you. The whole of last year, how much came to you? And where did that money go? You should be able.
So write it down. Anything that comes to you, write it down.
Yes. How much am I making? How much is going? Am I saving anything or am I in red? Because you cannot really control or manage anything that you don't have any information on. So most people they are building a house and they have no idea how much is going into the house. They are running a business and they have no idea how much comes to that business, how much goes out. So people have provision shops. They have no idea what sales that they are making every day or every month. So you should be able to know that at least from January to now, this is how much has come to me. And this is where the money has gone.
It's good you're saying this. Yesterday, I just did I have to just total up how much I had earned between January and now.
That's right.
So I know where I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when you are being wasteful, you will know. And so because out of that, then you'll be able to save something. And when you're able to save something, then you can think of planting that money somewhere.
What do you say to somebody who says, listen, they say 10% is minimum that you save, but Charlie, my salary doesn't take me home. How do I save 10%?
This is the reality. Your salary is not enough.
Yeah.
And so you have to find a way to do extra.
Extra income.
Yes, extra. But even that, there is something that you can save out of something, even if it's 1 cedi. Because what is important is the practice. The practice, the skills that you acquire.
The skill. The
because to have these finances controlled, it must be a skill. It must be a skill. It must be the ability to have your emotions controlled. Whenever you get money, you hear things in your head.
Since start talking to you, all of a sudden shoes appear.
Yes, you start to think of party, traveling, spending money on new clothes, all kind of things. Because money speaks, actually.
It speaks, eh?
It speaks.
What language?
If you are weak, it will let you spend it. And if you're strong, it will let you invest it.
I heard someone say money is spiritual. Is it true?
I don't know about that, but it speaks.
It speaks, eh?
It speaks. It speaks. It speaks. It has some power. And so if it's over you, if you see somebody's money there, you think of all the things that you can do. Even though it's not yours, you want to take it. But if you're stronger than that, then you say that, no, it's not mine, I won't take it. So it talks to people, I think so.
Why do you think they haven't taught us all these things in school?
Because really the world does not want you to be free.
Or the world desires slaves?
Yes, that's the way that we see it. You know, a lot of this employment and salary, if you look at the economies that started them, mainly, I mean, they thrive on slavery and all those. And so when they were stopping it, they had to say that, okay, we still have to have the people to what? To work. So any mechanisms that they had to come up so that the people could continue to work for them. So they created these things, not so much that you have freedom. Because they know that if your finances are okay, they can control you. And so one of the ways to let the people and maybe let the economy run is to create what? And those are, I mean, our countries that did not have these kind of things, you know that we're still struggling to contain the so-called employment. Why? Because we did not go through some of these structures that they created jobs out of slavery. So much.
When some people say, oh, Africa is the best place to live and make money. Now, that doesn't sound like reality to people who are hustling, but what do you make of that statement? Is Africa the best place to live and make money?
Absolutely. I went to school somewhere, and if you look at the things that we've been able to do now here and what we could do there, one, you're an African. I mean, we can argue on it, but that's the truth, you know. So Africa is the place, but then the African has been told and brainwashed and taught that there's nothing in his country. And if you watch TV, you hear, you know, you watch news, read our books, they constantly tell us that Africa is poor, it's a third world nation, nothing works. So it's more of the information that they have given to us on us. That's the problem. It's not so much.
Because we do so I see Indians, when I used to work in shipping, I used to see Indians in Sampa.
Yes.
When you're at Sampa, you can see Cote d'Ivoire. And they basically just organize the villages to harvest cashew, put it into sacks, send the cashew to Tama and Takrade and ship to India.
Because the Indian came with different knowledge. The African young man on the street is looking for visa. The one who is a graduate is looking for a job. The real work is in Sampa, farming cashew. Because those are the industries that are available to us. But you have gone to school to study aerodynamics engineering. How many industries are here that can absorb you in that? You know, but if you look at our land, it's very easy to buy 100-acre land in our country. And those are the areas that we can create wealth, if you want.
What do you think of these long queues in front of the Canadian High Commission, British High Commission, American Embassy, Chinese Embassy? When you see fit, able, young Africans in the sun queuing for those visas, what goes through your mind?
It's the people who have not been taught of their own greatness and their own environment. We all had the same, you know, same tendencies. Because all the examples that you've been told is that if you get to America, you'll be successful. Without knowing some of these things about money. You know, so once the financial education is low, then the people cannot see the opportunities that they have. So it's more of, and the other thing is that we also not been taught so much about our heritage and our identity as a people. You know, so many of our people even don't see themselves as wealthy. And that's a fact. That's why
they look down on themselves.
Yes, yeah. And the systems that they have created actually make us look down upon ourselves. So that's why a doctor here will quit and go to Germany to become maybe a care assistant, or in England as a security officer. And he has gone to school in our country for 7 years. Why? Because of that information. Every race is training their people. We are not. We are rather producing the people with any wholesale knowledge. We must be intentional about the history we teach our people, and it should not start from Amina, where some people came and enslaved us. That, for me, because I had to go through that myself, to study our history and be confident and proud as an African.
Were you always like this? Or can you remember a time when you didn't know much about yourself, didn't know much about money?
There's so much that I didn't know. I think in the university, I didn't know much. Until I just chanced on documents that I started to show interest in African history mainly, and history beyond slavery and colonization. You know, I wanted to know our greatness. You must have representation in history. Because really, they say history is past, but it's the future. Because the tree must have roots. The building must have foundation. And human beings, if you meet the Arab man, he knows something about his history. You meet the European, at least, they have some kind of history. Why do you think that they're always linking themselves to the Greeks? You know? And what have we? They will just teach you about colonization and why they came to Christianize you. That's all. So many of our people, whether they are professional educated, PhD holders, when they are talking, by the time they are done, you see that they are raising the white man in everything. And they say that there's no opportunities here. We are very honest, dishonest people. Ghana, you know, corruption is everywhere. Those are so constantly, if you hear them talk, 90% of the time, all you hear is negativity.
A lot of what you've said stems from the way man should be thinking. How do you train your mind to look for opportunities to become financially independent?
You read. Search for information like this one. All the time. And it's a lifelong journey. As a matter of fact, success in anything is out of continuous learning. And you should not tell yourself that because I'm out of classroom, then I shouldn't learn. No. Classroom is for certificate. For life, there's education you give to yourself to get a certificate. And there's one that you give to yourself to become successful or for life. So as an engineer, I train. But for life, I had to study some models so that I can live life.
Why do you think people value certificates so far? I've done trainings for people where they wouldn't pay for the training. But if you say, you know what, do the training for free, and then at the end of the training, I'll charge you 100 or 200 for certificate, and they will do it.
Yes, because we've been conditioned. You say there's the effect of colonization. We try to deny it, but it's very, very much loud. We love papers. We don't want to get to the ground and work for results. But what really changes a man's life is the work on the ground. You know, putting your hands in the dirt and getting results, not the certificate. The certificate will get you some position.
Or a job.
A job. But when they take you out, you're still back to square one. You're just like somebody who, you know, they have inflated the balloon, if you want. And you are sitting on it. When somebody sticks a needle on it, where are you? You're still back to the ground. You know? So I think that financial freedom, you must create it yourself. And there are some sequences that you must follow. And it's not something that you're going to sacrifice. You should be able to raise your pain, your threshold of pain, discomfort, disagreement, criticism. If the moment you tell yourself that I want to be financially free, then some parties you can't go. Some funerals you can't really
You have to chill.
go. You know, some cars you can't drive until you are there, where different sources of income come.
And then they will fund whatever you want to do.
Yes, and it's a practice that all of us can achieve.
How can people reach you, Governor?
My number.
Is that Facebook or whatever?
Yes, yeah, we have a Facebook channel.
Your name?
Yes, Obeng Darko.
Okay, Obeng Darko. Just like that? Or
Yes,
Obeng Darko.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And YouTube, Obeng Darko as well.
Okay. Look into the camera and tell them something that they should remember about money.
Our desire is that the young people should see the prospects in our country. And you must educate yourself. You must educate yourself in your history, and you must at least educate yourself how to build something, build a business. And you must also educate yourself financially, because the world runs on money. And so if you don't educate yourself like that, then you will be the one looking for visa and complaining and insulting our leaders all the time.
Governor Obeng Darko, engineer, entrepreneur, author. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.